Hello, welcome to the Outside Men podcast, where we talk all things rugby league.
Yep.
We have a couple of guests here.
Oh, guests tonight.
Yeah, guests.
On Jed's podcast.
Yes. We have Matthew here,
Yeah.
and then we have Jason, and then myself, Jed.
Yeah.
We have a good weekend, guys.
We did.
Yeah. No.
Apart from the footy.
It's all right.
Apart from the footy.
So, did you get the 2 points, Jed?
Nah.
Did you?
No.
Neither did I.
Yeah. So we're a bunch of
Callan did,
So,
but he's not here.
Yeah. Oh,
Give us a like and a subscribe now before you hear our unpopular opinions.
yeah.
We should change the name of the podcast to NRL Unpopular Opinions.
Unpopular
Ooh.
opinions.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
controversies.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll talk about controversy
Yeah.
in a minute anyway.
Did we like
I
the
like
footy
that.
over the weekend, though, in general?
Well, not really for me.
There's a couple of issues that we're going to have to talk about.
I've got a mixed bag.
You got a mixed bag.
I got some of it, yeah.
Oh,
great.
okay, yeah.
Some of it, oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, shall we get on with it right now then?
Oh, yeah, we better do that.
All right, Controversy Corner.
All right. We'll start with Jason.
The most popular segment of the show,
Yeah.
Yep,
where we bring controversies and or conspiracies to you, and Jed's really super keen.
Yeah, no, Jason is going to hit off the road.
Keen to do a hospital pass. There you go. Look, controversially speaking, the game has gone soft officially. I was watching the Battle of Brookvale, which was one of the most entertaining matches you could watch in the year.
Is that the 2009 game?
Well, it continued for many
yeah.
years.
Yes, for
It
many
was a
years.
great game. This year, there was just no malice, no fight, nothing in it. Melbourne just smashed them, and it was boring. We want to see some big rivalries. We want to see some big hits. And on top of that, not only is the Battle of Brookvale gone, the NRL have lost the plot with high tackles. Absolute disgrace. Some of the taps, some things came up from the shoulder. A lot of people falling down and they've hit a shoulder. These are not high tackles. What they're calling forceful is not forceful. If we had time, I'd show a heap of clips, but you watch rugby league, I think you agree. I haven't met a fan that has been happy with that this weekend. So there's got to be a bit more aggression about it. It's rugby league.
Well,
That's what it's known for.
It is a contact sport.
Yeah.
There will inevitably be contact with the head, and for the NRL to come out and say any head contact's going to be a sin bin is just ridiculous because guys are going to get hit in the head. They know. They start playing under sixes, under fives even. They know that it's a physical
They tell them to
sport.
wear headgear. Why do they tell them to wear headgear? Because it happens.
Yep.
I think if it's direct and forceful, fair enough. So Piakura, that one was pretty gone. And I think Tino's, sorry Matt, I think you missed the shot anyway.
I missed the shot.
But Tino's was pretty fair. It was pretty square to the head. But these other ones that are hitting around here, I mean, it's just making the game boring. Waiting, they go back, they watch it.
Yeah, and now we're getting into this thing where the NRL is trying to have control on, what these broadcast partners can say. And
We're completely independent, so we don't have any. But if the NRL wants to, silence us and tell us to be nice to the refs, sponsor us for sure. We'll be on board with that.
But so that's what's his name? Andrew
Abdo.
Not Aldo.
Captain Abdo.
He came out and like Jed said, he's told the NRL 360 and
100%
footy show,
footy.
not 100% footy, not to talk about refereeing decisions. So that brings us on to the next controversy: refereeing consistencies.
Yeah.
I'm finding inconsistencies within the same game, let alone across multiple games. Like one of the games, I think it was the Roosters game that Jed and I were watching. They were calling up these headshots for one of the teams, but not for the other team.
Yeah, well.
And it was like, well, what's going on here? Like, it's just pretty much the same sort of hit.
Yep.
Forward passes is another one.
Oh,
have they
many.
forgotten what forward passes are?
You think we're playing Union?
Or gridiron.
Yeah, or gridiron.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, not well, when we're talking about referees also, I think do we need linesmen anymore?
Well, the linesmen
What
need,
do they do?
Well, they need to be... Well, first of all, they need to see if a line's straight, if they're offside.
Yeah.
They also need to be in line with the play so they can tell clearly if a ball's gone forward out of the hands
But they're not
or
doing
floated
it.
forward.
They're not
Well,
doing
they're not doing it. There was a game last week, which we were talking about before, that one of the wingers ran down the sideline and his foot went on the line, but they didn't call it up. Because
So
the touchy was 60 metres down the other
We
end
went
of the
through
field.
what? We went through 4 minutes where they went it, they took it up, they reviewed it, they watched the foot on the line 4 times for some reason, and then they disallowed and then it went back. Like, what a waste of time. The touchy should have been there and just said, oh, foot's out, that's it, done. And then, no, we've all been at the footy live. You can see a team offside for like 4 sets and they don't call anything, and then all of a sudden they call one. I honestly, if touchies aren't going to actually do something apart from the goal kick, why do we need them?
Yeah, well, surely we would have the technology now to be able to tell through technology that ball was forward,
Yeah.
and then decipher or discern whether or not it was forward out of the hand or it just floated forward.
Yeah.
Well, I think there has been talk of putting a microchip into the ball, and then they can sort of laser that up or something like that, and then but who knows?
They do it in EPL. They freeze the frame, they draw a line. In soccer, they draw a line, and then they're like, oh, look, his foot's over the line.
Yeah, but
It's not a difficult.
Yeah, but in rugby league, you'd have the situation of, if I'm passing it to you, it might come out of the hands backwards but float forward. So it can't be. So it's a little bit different. Where in soccer, you've just got to be behind that line.
Yep.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, and that's a very good point, Jed.
Yeah. So it's not.
anyway.
They're different sports,
Someone a lot smarter than us will figure out how to do it.
and you're that man.
No, someone smarter.
All right,
right.
Jed, what do you got?
All right. It happened a couple of times over the weekend. It happened, I think, in the Raiders game, and also I think it was the Roosters game as well. So a team gets given a 6 again. Whether it's legitimate or not is not really the point. But you see it happen where there's a play the ball afterwards, and then because of how messy the play the ball is, that team in attack then knocks the ball on. And then it's a handover, where I feel as though that team should be able to have one free play, like a T20 sort of hit, to be able to do whatever they like without the consequences of knocking the ball on.
Yeah, great. Well, they do that with the with like a turnover. If they knock it on, then they pick it up. Then they always play, and then they knock it on, and they do something stupid.
Play
They
the
come back and they get it again. It's the advantage, which is supposed to be like 10 meters, but it equals like 4,000.
But did you guys see those incidents?
I didn't see the incident, but I like the premise. A free hit.
Yeah, a free hit. So
Big
they
bash.
do it in the Super League.
Oh, do they?
Yes, they
Wow.
do. So I'm actually flying over there tomorrow. No, I'm not.
I'll be asked to go over and check it out.
Check it out. But yeah, I just feel as though that it just doesn't give that team the advantage that's been given a 6 again ruling of the 6 again, which
It'd make it exciting if you got this free hit where you can, do a 40-meter forward pass and see if you get away with it.
Yeah, and
Latrell?
yes, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, mate, did you have anything?
No, just the referee's inconsistency.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break and then we'll be back with this round's thoughts. See you in a bit.
All right, the first game of the weekend. Raiders defeating the Sharks 24-20.
Look, I got some grand final tickets up for grabs if anyone wants to buy them.
Yeah, not
I'm
me.
going to sell them off.
What do we think of Hudson Young's sin bin? That was the first of the weekend of the crackdown.
No, that wasn't a sin bin.
No, definitely. Send him off.
No,
Send him off.
it wasn't. It was not.
Well, he does it every week. Every
Yeah.
week he hits someone high.
Yeah.
So it was pretty. It was pretty even game though. Really, realistically, it was fairly even.
Well-
It was that last play
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I
he
know.
tapped out. Nico went missing halfway through.
As he always does.
I thought Kennedy did good to get back over to the other side, but then he missed the ball anyway.
Nico made the first 2 tackles in that last play. That last bit. He tried on that bit. But then, Oh, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking.
So close.
I must admit, so I was sitting at home watching the game, and like, you know, like when the team that you're tipping just isn't playing their best footy, and you know, you can't get comfortable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when that last try happened, I leapt up, and then my cat Alfie just was looking at me as I was celebrating. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So possession was 48% to Raiders 52.
It was pretty tight. There was high completions, over 80%. They both completed well.
Running meters was really high as well. Heaps of post contact meters.
Only 4 line breaks and 2 line breaks. So pretty decent defence. And I thought that was indicative of the game.
Yeah, but I thought a few early tries from both teams were quite soft.
Oh, the first Canberra's first try. That
Yeah.
shouldn't have went in.
But even like when they
Both
shut-
Nicara tries, like
Yeah,
they should have
yeah.
shut that down. But
yeah,
it was
that
great.
was soft.
Yeah. So missed tackles were pretty low as well, considering like 24 for Raiders, 31 for Sharks. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Errors were even at 9 apiece.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, like I said, I thought it was a fairly even contest for the most part of it, and it was really only that last play that clinched
Yeah.
it.
Would you call it high class though? The game?
No.
It was okay.
It wasn't entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the Doggies game was more entertaining against the
Yeah.
Sharks the week before, even though we lost by more. But yeah, I don't know. Where does that leave the Sharks, Jed? What do you think?
I think it leaves them in the same position in the last couple of years where basically they'll make the finals, but they won't do anything.
I think they need to shift Nico to fullback.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
Kennedy needs to go to 7. No. I think this whole season has been really strange.
Yeah.
Topsy-turvy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you think you're picking on teams that you think, because they performed really well the week before, and then they come to the next week and they're the ones that are losing.
Yeah.
You know, lots of upsets.
Well, we just
underdogs.
read. So Melbourne beat. Who'd they just beat?
Manly.
Manly today.
Melbourne beat Manly. Manly beat.
Warriors.
Oh,
no, Warriors.
I lost it. Manly beat somebody. Somebody beat somebody.
Yeah.
Ignore that. Just keep going.
Just quickly, Jason.
We know what you're talking
Yes.
about.
What are your thoughts on Craig Fitzgibbon's coaching this year?
Is he in trouble?
Oh, he's not in trouble because he'll make the finals.
Yeah, you make the finals.
Like you can't get.
But have you been happy with his performances in terms of picking the right team, doing the interchanges?
Yeah, I've been like you got to remember, we nearly beat Penrith, and that's the only time they've had a full squad.
Yes.
So we played very well then. We smashed the Rabbits off the park, who just beat somebody with no hamstrings. And then the Dogs, we lost our centre and our forward, who was our backup centre, in that game in the first half. So we played with hardly any men that game. Against a Dog side who was hot at the moment. And then we were winning until the 78th minute. So is he picking, like I can't say he's lost the dressing room. I can't say he hasn't got a good game plan or not training him well. All I would say is that I don't understand Kennedy. I don't understand the pick. It baffles me.
Who do they?
And I don't understand. Okay, point 2, sorry, because you brought it up. I don't understand why Nico kicks from our side of the half. When Trindle has a great long kicking game, Nico has a terrible long kicking game. Why does it happen?
Yeah.
Is that the team just ignores what's happening and Nico just says, yeah, I'm going to kick and tries to take it, which is the sign of a good leader, but crap decision. But Trindle has to be the one kicking. He can't. He nearly kicked 3 40-20s the other week. He has to be it. So I don't understand if that's coach. If that's coach, yeah, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
But if it's players making it up,
Yeah. Anyway. Second game. Should we go?
Second game, Panthers
Upset
versus Cowboys.
of the round.
I tipped the Cowboys.
Panthers 18, Cowboys 22. 5 o'clock game on Friday night.
Yep.
How do you feel as a game, Jed?
Look, Cowboys really stuck it to Penrith.
They were winning though.
Yes.
Penrith were winning. And this is the first time, sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no.
This is the first time I've really seen them not able to close out a game.
That there is quite worrying.
That's their...
Yeah, and like...
Are they going to make the 8, Jed?
No, I'm still picking to... They're not going to make the 8, I'm telling you.
It's not looking good, eh? Something has happened in that
They,
and I don't
club.
rate... Who's the 5/8 for Penrith? Jack House?
Cole.
Cole. I don't rate him as a player.
Wow.
I don't think he's up to standard. And the thing is that, like... And here's my controversial thought as well, is... Yes, Cleary is good, but he cannot lead a team.
Ooh.
He needs, like...
Well, to say...
Like-
Isaiah Yeo is probably... Well, he's the captain, right? So he's more of a leader. Even he was struggling on Friday night. He didn't look like he was, couldn't think about what was going on or whatever. So, but surely him and Cleary, between the two of them, should be able to guide the pack around.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I've never seen Cleary, like, completely win a game on his own.
Oh, the grand final?
The clutch.
Yes, but let me explain. In that one, he had the bloke that's gone to Newcastle now. Can't think of his name.
Cogger?
Yeah, Jack Cogger. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have allowed Cleary to do his thing in the grand final. Yes, he kicked a couple of 40-20. He kicked the 40-20 and scored the winning try.
And put Moses through the gap.
But I feel like if Jack Cogger
kicked the goal.
yes, but I feel like if Jack Cogger doesn't play in that game, because Penrith were doing nothing in that grand final.
I think you're going to go a little bit further and say Luai wasn't playing well enough until that point. And then when Cogger came on, he helped Cleary. You need two halves.
Yeah, you need two
So
halves.
I kind of blame Luai for that bit. But I hear you. But no, Cleary was it.
But
Cleary was it.
But the thing is, like, Johns and Thurston, they could do things that only...
Johns and Thurston could do.
only Johns and Thurston could do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
I hear you, but I think Cleary has in many games. So we can.
I just think he's off this year. Like there was the game earlier in the year. I think it was their first or second game where it was against the Sharks.
Yep.
And where I said I was watching the game and I could see Cleary shaping up to go left, and then Kennedy would start to go left, and he would see Kennedy go left, so he'd go right, and then he'd kick it over and score. And he did that like 3 or 4 different times. So I think game management, he's got it. But since then, I think Penrith have started to lose their way a little bit.
Yeah.
I was going to say about the Cowboys though, is that like I was really impressed with how they played, and I did see, I think it was Scott Drinkwater. He did a really good job when he had like a 2-on-1 situation in defence, and he actually backtracked and made it really hard for the Penrith outside backs to make a decision.
Yeah.
And he actually saved 2 tries.
Yeah. I think Drinkwater had a far better game than the other ones. Because remember, against the Sharks, he didn't have a run.
Yeah.
He didn't get a line break. And they really targeted that edge on Cleary, where we've been saying on the podcast all year, him and Tago are just not on the same page.
Yeah.
And it even happened again. Cleary came in and Tago stayed out again. They need to... I don't understand what's happening there either. They need to fix that.
Yeah, but Cowboys really good. 2 wins on the trot.
Yep.
Yep. Big shout out to McLean chasing down Derby.
Yeah.
He was away and he caught him. That was a good moment for the young fella who got dropped 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And came back but also the Panthers win if he passes the ball on that play to Jenkins.
So completion rate was 68% to Penrith, which would be well too unsatisfactory for Ivan. Cowboys were a lot better on 77. Run meters were fairly even at 1800 for Penrith, 1700 for Cowboys.
For Cowboys.
And then what's another stat that we're looking at?
So do we
missed tackles 42 for Penrith.
So this is
24 for Cowboys.
This is not a good sign for Cowboys either, because Penrith were very bad. 16 errors.
So do you think it's enough to turn around the Cowboys season, and could they make the top 8?
Definitely gives them confidence, but because Penrith have not been at their best.
They still let in 18 points.
I think it'd be good for their confidence and getting the win, coming from behind as well to win as well. I think that's going to be good for Cows. Has it turned their season around? I think they need a few more wins yet to.
And again, I'll say with Combank Stadium, it just doesn't hold that aura that the Penrith Stadium has. Another low crowd.
Definitely not, but they'll get a new stadium, so.
So next game, the 6 p.m. game or 7 p.m. game.
This is the last weekend of daylight saving.
This is the hamstring round, hamstring game.
Rabbitohs versus Roosters.
20-14.
I can't remember a game where a team has lost 2 halves and then 2 halves to hamstring.
Yeah.
Can you think of another game where that's happened?
I was
hoping
a bit
Chad
frustrated.
did a hamstring.
He needs, again, just retire, Chad.
I love Chad. Can I say I love him? But even I will concede.
He made some doozies.
His kicking game in the last 2 and a bit years has just gone. Chad suits one game plan very, very well.
Yeah.
And if it's not the game plan of the Sharks in 2016, it doesn't work.
I was frustrated that, when the South Sydney was going, they're going down left, right and centre, it was like we took the foot off the brake, off the accelerator. And, that was very frustrating, but, it's a rebuilding season, and congrats to South. But I will say, the Trails pass was about 2 metres forward.
This was the last pass that literally won them the game. How was Latrell's dropouts as well?
Yeah.
The last one, it back kicked and then ended up bouncing forward, and the Roosters just let him grab it.
I know.
Oh.
So he was quite lucky there, mate. I think they kicked it out on the full. He kicked it out on the full a couple of times as well.
Yeah. So he's gone for a 40-20. So he's inside his half. He's kicked it out on the full at the 10-metre mark.
Yeah.
How huge is that kick?
Big kick.
He did it twice.
How would you explain my emotions on Friday night?
Up and down. Up and down.
A bit of a yo-yo.
It was a fairly even contest, but Rabbitohs. I don't think Rabbitoh, the win for them was really just that lucky pass. They didn't get called, the foot wasn't on the line, and they scored the try.
But I'd say Roosters are lucky that Cody and Humphreys.
Yeah.
And then Ravalawa did his hamstring. Well, they had one person on the bench.
Well, they moved Jack White into the wing. And the ball wasn't to the right wing, and the ball wasn't even going right.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most experienced players left on the field.
Yeah.
Get him into the centres. Get him into 5, 8 or 7.
I couldn't,
just to fill in. He's electric when he's got the ball. He didn't get the ball.
And he is a sensational left foot kicker.
Absolutely. And he was stuck out on the wing. They didn't call him in.
Yeah. Anyway,
Rabbitohs got the win there.
Who would buy Whiten and put him on the wing? Anyway.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
Probably the most thrilling game of the round.
Thrilling.
Upset upsetting for one team, lovely for the other
he's not allowed
team.
I
do
know
that.
he's not allowed to do it, but anyway.
The Eels versus Dragons, 23-22. Eels
It's,
come away,
this-
first wing.
This
first
is
win of
known
the year.
as the Zach Lomax Cup, actually.
Did anyone see King Gutho doing it, like when he scored his 2 tries? He was doing the dance to him and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then
So-
what happened?
It was Clint Gutherson's first game against his old club, Zach Lomax's game against his old club.
Yeah.
Went down to Golden Point.
I don't
and-
think we've ever had 2 genuine stars swap clubs like that. Like, yeah.
So I thought it was a good
Entertaining.
game. It was an entertaining game,
Yep.
and it went down to the wire.
And every conversion and every penalty goal kicked,
Yeah.
which is like, keeps it really entertaining.
So I thought that was a great game. Eels had tons more possession too, 54% to 46%. Completion rates were really good, 83% for the Eels, 73% for the Dragons. Run meters were about the same at 1,800 and 1,600. And what else were we on? Errors. So missed tackles, 31 for Eels, 23 for Dragons. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
9 errors for Eels, 12 for Dragons. So quite consistent.
6 each on the penalties too. Quite even. What was interesting, I'd say,
Look at this.
was
Players on report, 5 for the Eels and 1 for the Dragons.
we're going to win and don't care what it takes. We're going to win 1 game this year. Interesting, the field goal, because traditionally field goals would be up to the halfbacks.
Yeah.
And we had 2 centres going at it for field goal kicks.
Was
so,
it the
Lomax
two
and
halfbacks that neither had kicked a field goal before? I think
Yeah,
that's why
I
it
would
went
say
to,
so,
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
why it went to Holmes and
Well, it went to Holmes and Lomax because they're great.
Yeah, Holmes did a massive
Yeah.
drop kick.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
huge.
Didn't go in the right spot.
Yeah.
Quick question, like, I
Yeah.
know that Lachlan Elias, like, he kicked the ball out on the full with a couple minutes to go. And a couple of weeks ago, the Dragons coach Kyle Flanagan, Shane Flanagan, Shane Flanagan came out and said that he really needs to take control of games and stuff like that. So where does this leave Lachlan?
He'll be there until next year when Atkinson gets there. And he'll
Yeah.
take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just keep refining his game.
Yeah.
Like-
Is he an NRL halfback though?
Yeah,
I
think
thought so,
Yeah.
but the Bunnies dropped him, and he's not looking great.
Yeah.
So, the reason he went to the Dragons, I don't know if you remember, he spoke to Wayne and said, if I'm the best halfback
Yeah.
playing, will I get a run? And Wayne said no
Oh, okay. Yep.
when he went to the Dragons. So, look, I think the Dragons are just waiting for next year.
Yeah. Anyway, just a thought.
They can have Kennedy.
They can have Kennedy.
I'd pick him up.
He won't help.
Let down of the round.
Let down of the round, but fins up. Good on them for getting a win. I think Hammer, the Dolphins, hammered
Where's he been for the last 5 weeks?
it. He shows
Like,
up.
why does he
against the
show
Titans.
up against in this game?
I hate that.
So-
The Hammer got 36 points and the Titans got 10. Titans got.
we were just not in it.
Tito got sin binned. They played Jolliffe, who I'm going to go out and say is probably the most average front row in the NRL.
He had some good games, but he was. Yeah.
He's not. I would not be worried if he was opposing me.
Oh, okay. We'll test it out then.
Let's go.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
You
him
got something
running
on
at
your
me.
head. It's not. I'm scared. I was going to whack you.
Oh, okay. So, Matt, do you reckon it was an attitude problem for the Titans?
I think they'll believe in some of the things that were spoken about them.
Yeah, I think they game at home. You know, Dolphins haven't been playing the best. They've probably underrated them a bit.
Yeah.
I think Dolphins have had a pretty good record against us too since they've started. We've played them a few times. I think it's probably pretty even.
Can we see tackles in opposition's 20? Because Titans had a ton. And I think the thing with this playing 3 fullbacks is that there's no
direction.
Not direct. There's no direction, but no, like, it doesn't seem to be a lot of setup plays.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll give it to AJ and see if he can do something miraculous. Then we'll give it to Campbell and see if he can do something miraculous. And then it was Kinney, now De Groot. Let's see if he'll do something. There doesn't seem to be set plays. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of set plays. And they scored 2 good tries at the end, De Groot and AJ. There's that structure, especially in the opposition's 20 when they're on the line ready to go, there doesn't seem to be enough. And they got they got creativity, and they'll score tries.
Fafita only had 5 runs as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're paying $1 million and a bit for him to play, and he's had 5 runs.
Yeah. So do you think that will
You
change?
just can't pay $1 million for a forward.
So do you think that will change once Vaughan comes back?
Well, I think this is what they want to do. So I think Campbell will grow into it.
Yeah.
And get better. But at the moment, I just don't think they're both don't seem to be organising halves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to.
And they don't. And the hooker's not really,
Yeah.
an Appy or a Cameron Smith or something that can.
So interesting stats. Dolphins 55% possession of 45. So that's a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Completion rates were pretty much even, 72% to 76%. But the Dolphins did have, 6 more sets than what the Titans did.
Yep.
This was one stat that I saw that really let the Titans down, was the run meters. So they only got 1,458 run meters, where the Dolphins got nearly 2,000 run meters. Like, that's a big difference, and that was evident in those plays. Was that the Titans weren't getting those set plays or the line breaks what they needed.
And I think a lot of that, the line breaks. I think a lot of that was Hammer and Herbie.
The other stat I saw here. Where did it go?
I have got something quickly to say.
Go.
Did anyone see there with the press conference with Des Hasler? He didn't actually answer any questions.
No?
No.
I didn't watch the pressy.
Yeah, so he just basically said how the NRL is ruining the game and stuff like that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he should go on 360.
He should go on 360. So
So missed tackles were pretty good, 26 to Titans, 25 to Dolphins. And the 10 errors each. So it's up there, but not too bad. But 9 penalties conceded for the Titans to 4 for the Dolphins, but 5 ruck infringements for the Dolphins and 1 to the Titans.
Wow.
So
the matchup, Herbie on Fermor, was actually really quite good.
can I just say, I really rate Bo Firma.
He's great.
Whether he's an oversized centre or if he's in the forward pack somewhere.
Smaller forward.
But he can move. He's got a motor on him. His work ethic's right up there.
Yeah.
He's got excellent defence.
Do you reckon he can
that
play
penalty, maybe. That penalty for that tackle towards the end where he just grazed the guy's chin. I was like, what the heck? That is not a penalty. Yeah. He was going in to make a tackle because the guy was about to score a try. And then I think they ended up scoring a try off that.
And the ones leading with the head like that too, and you're trying to tackle them. Like, if they're running like this, how do you get in there?
Yeah.
You've also got guys like Tino. Like, he can be pretty rough, but he's also 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
So if he's tackling a dude that's 5'8", and he's tackling like this, he's going to be getting him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they've gone from no
it's happened to
leniency to just blanket.
Well, that's what's ruled Radley out of the game, because he had to start going, changing his defence, and he just keeps knocking himself out.
Yeah. So ban every small player.
Ban everything from everywhere.
I say what they need to do is get Velcro strips on the sides of their pants and tags, right?
That's what they do in under sevens.
So instead of tackling, you just rip the tags off. I think that's going to be heaps more fun.
Yeah, that's why we play rugby league.
Then they can go off the back fence. I'd like to say before we get into this that I said, hey, the Tigers are going good, but they haven't played anyone yet.
Yeah.
Then the Broncos played the Tigers, 46-24. I have to admit something here on the podcast.
Yep.
I said to everyone pretty much that I thought Ben Hunt probably wasn't a great pickup because where was he going to play? This was before the Mam incident, obviously. With Reynolds going down at half time and Ben Hunt going into fullback, halfback, what a masterstroke.
Yeah.
Last year, they would have capitulated in this game without a halfback. And they kept it going.
It was
so,
it was a pretty even game up until half time. Tigers actually scored 3 tries to 2 to the Broncos, but they didn't make a kick.
Yeah, they couldn't kick a goal.
So that I think really contributed. Otherwise, it's been way out front. Reynolds' kicking was on point as well until he went off.
Does it say the 44th minute? I'm pretty sure he went off in the first half.
No, he went off in the second half.
Was it second half and he scored that straight up?
It was after he converted.
Yeah, I thought it was in the first half.
So, look, Broncos were looking sharp. Reynolds had some great runs. He made a couple of little mistakes.
Reynolds was on fire.
Reynolds was great. Ben Hunt really took control when Reynolds went off.
Willison.
Oh, Wilson, he got a double.
Mate.
He nearly got a hat trick as well. You know, he was playing really good.
Hey, can I just say something though?
No. Go.
It frustrates me with, not frustrates me, but I don't understand Bronco supporters. You know, like I love you all, I love you, Chloe, or you know, and like, but like, why do you think that you're gonna be winning the grand final when it's only what are we in April?
It was the Tigers.
It was the Tigers, and they're going on like they're gonna win the grand final, and they're booking tickets and stuff like that. Like,
if you want tickets, I'll give you mine.
Like, I don't understand it. Like, what are you doing with your life?
It's just passionate, Jed. They're passionate about the Bronx. Poor old Buck didn't get to have a break too.
Also had someone in the sin bin in this game. The Tigers lost someone at the end, obviously, as well. So, considering they were down someone for 10 minutes as well, if you had Peter Core on your Supercoach team, I apologise to you. That must be the hard life. So
all the stats are all the attacking stats are pretty much exactly the same.
They're even, except for the Broncos just have a better team.
Yeah, well, the Tigers had more possession, but couldn't convert that into points.
I thought Galvin had a good game, despite the scoreline. I thought he had a lot of nice touches, nice little kicks back through.
And I thought Trevuva, he played exceptionally well.
Yeah, Trevuva was great.
Scored 2 tries. His defence was great. He caused, I think it was Ben Hunt, he went to sort of go over to score a try, and then did you see him like just getting into it?
He knocked the ball out on Ben Hunt. He was laughing at him. That's good. 14 errors for the Bronx, first 9. Missed tackles were pretty much the same at 32 and 33 for the Tigers. Everything else was very similar. Pretty, very even game, but Bronx just turned it up in the second half and ran away with it.
They had some good players. Cobbo, he was good. Staggs was good.
Jesse Arthurs had some really good runs back as well.
Did well. Hunt had some great touches. Reynolds was fantastic.
Do you think that was Billy Walters' try was a great try for him? He got that pass back on the inside and then ran through the line and scored a try.
Yeah.
That's good.
And one quick thing before we go on to the next game. Do you think that Adam Reynolds deserves another contract, whether it's with the Broncos or another club?
Well, there was actually a news article out today that I think it was Hull HR was looking at him for the Super League for next year because there's salary cap issues now.
I think if they can get Reynolds and Hunt on like 800,000 for both of them, as a package, I think that would suit them. One can play one week, one can play the other week. Just keep them going, so they don't get hurt because they're a bit old. That'd be perfect.
Ben Hunt gets injured a lot less than what Reynolds does.
I know. Right. You think like 70-30.
Yeah.
Because Reynolds went off with a hamstring injury. So.
I think it was pretty precautionary.
But anyway.
So the next game,
Was Melbourne
Manly
smashing
Storm.
the Storm? Oh, no, Melbourne smashing
Manly smashing the Storm. What game were you guys
Storm
watching?
smashing the Manly.
Ooh.
48-24. Melbourne, they just came out to play. Like, they were... like, Craig Bellamy would have got into them after last week's performance against the Dragons. And, yeah, they just...
Cameron Munster
Yeah.
was unbelievable. Oh, there was a try to Pap. So Hughes to Munster to Pap. What's the commentator's name?
Vossi.
Vossi, like, a lot of salary cap in that try. Oh, that was amazing. Good on you, Vossi.
But yeah, Melbourne Storm just ran away with it. Couple of late tries to Manly to bring them back a bit, but...
Pap kicked 8 from 8.
No, 7 from 7. He went off. Paps went off.
7 from
Hamstring
7.
tightness or something.
Yeah.
And then Wishart got the last one.
We'll have to check
And I think that even if Turbo did play, I think that Melbourne still would have been too strong.
Melbourne were looking good.
Yeah.
Melbourne
Not
were
like, to be
sharp.
real, like, I know he's a big player, but yeah, they would...
I don't know if he's 24 points big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, this is the hamstring round, so he probably would have ripped
Yeah,
his hamstring
he
anyway.
wouldn't have
If he didn't
gone,
last week, he would have done it this week.
It would have lasted.
And
long.
I think that it's almost time that he has to go to centre to avoid Rich.
How's that going to...
Well,
Make
less
him less-
running?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not a doctor. You're looking at me
Yeah.
like I've got some information for you. I'm not a physio.
But you're the host.
Am I? Oh,
So-
I think absolutely yes. I
Okay.
think all the long running is what makes them do hamstrings. You
Yeah.
Stop
see it
running.
on all the fullbacks, all the tall ones. They pull hammies from that long running, and I think putting them in at centre is the answer.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Jason. Thank you.
It'll save him, and he'll get to make 40 tackles a game.
Alright, can you ring that table a bit harder, please? No, you need to go...
I'm just trying to help you.
You guys.
Yeah. Anyway, Matt.
So yeah,
what's
great
going on?
game. Missed tackles 43 to Storm. Manly to 40 to Storm. So quite high, quite a lot. I think that was just the speed of the game really that brought that on, and line breaks, etc. Like 11 errors to Storm, 8 to Manly. So I think that.
7 each penalties conceded, so they evened that up well, the refs, didn't they?
Well,
Yeah. Didn't they say that in the...
Yeah, the commentator.
The commentator literally said, oh, they got one like that before.
Yeah, you mean the referee.
Yeah. Who did I say?
Commentator.
Oh,
Ah,
the ref did. Yeah,
Yes,
you're
sir.
right. It was a step over the ball, which was pretty legit penalty, but yeah. That
yeah.
was
But yeah,
funny.
no, great game. And the last game, which is still running at the moment, which
2-0.
is,
2-0.
2-0 to the
Canterbury-
Doggies.
Canterbury Newey.
So what's going to happen in that game, Jed?
I
Talk
think
us through
the
it.
Dogs are going to run away with it.
Well,
Runway.
I can see it on the TV here, and it's been looking pretty even
Yeah.
between the two teams so far.
Ooh.
Interesting. Time will tell.
But
I
yeah,
reckon it's going to be even till half time, and then KP is going to blow it out of the water.
okay.
KP and Best are going to just smash them.
Yeah, alright, no worries. Alright, well, we'll take a
Newcastle
commercial
just
break.
scored.
Was it KP?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll take a commercial break and we'll be back in a second with the
Righto, we're back, and it's
We're
round 6.
Sucks.
6.
So, first game on the Thursday, which will be Dolphins versus Panthers up at Suncorp.
I got to tip Dolphins.
Well,
We should go.
we should go.
Thursday night. Why not?
I
If
was
there's
gonna.
any- if there's any tickets
What are
left.
you doing on Thursday?
I'm not sure
Why do you
yet.
take us higher?
I think it's
Hope he doesn't watch the podcast.
This is shaping up to be a good game too, I think.
I think the Panthers are going to turn it around.
Yeah.
Controversially, I'm going to say they're going to put 30 on them.
Yeah. Now you've got me thinking.
Okay.
I reckon they're going to go big. I think Yo and Cleary are too good to let last week's game
Affect them.
happen again.
See, I think they're in all sorts of trouble, and I think the pressure's mounting on them. They're getting the pressure from the media, pressure from the fans.
No.
You know, there's lots of pressure, and they probably haven't felt this pressure for a few years because
It's
they've
Yo-
been on top for
It's
so
Yo
long.
and the Iceman. They don't even feel pressure. They don't even know what
I
it
don't
is.
know. I reckon it's getting to them.
All right.
And
Dolphins off a fresh win, playing at their second home ground.
Matty's going the Dolphins.
yeah.
I'm thinking the Dolphins at this
I'm thinking Dolphins too now.
Sunday night.
I
I'm
mean,
thinking
Matt, you're a
Dolphins.
better friend, so I'm going to have to go with you.
All right.
That's
I may change my
pretty
mind.
fair enough, isn't it? I'm not the greatest friend.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
Dolphins. So
I'll try hard. Panthers up by 30. You heard it here first.
all right. Next game: Dragons versus Titans at
In the
Wynn
goal.
Stadium.
This could be anything.
Oh,
Dragons go pretty good against the Titans when they're at home.
Who's showing up? Logically, the Dragons can't close out a game, so the Titans should come home strong. But do they have enough direction to win the game?
We'll have to wait and see what the team list is announced on
Yeah.
Tuesday. But
so is that at Wynn Stadium? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't pick it, so
I'll-
Dragons at home.
I'll go Dragons. All right.
Titans.
This next game, Broncos Roosters. This will be a bloodbath.
This could be the game that the Roosters
Whoa.
actually show up. They haven't been too far off the money,
Yeah.
and they're going to want to make amends for round one.
Yeah.
Or two, was it? Round one, when they got blown away.
Look,
for 50.
I will tip the Roosters if we don't pick Chad Townsend. I know it's a
Chad's
comedy.
in.
Hold on.
Chad's in.
I hear you. Who do you put there?
We got a young bloke, Hugo.
So you put him in there when the team's going crap.
Well, you got to try something.
But I'm going
I
to
mean,
say, you put him in there,
It's-
and he loses the first 3 games,
Yeah.
and he ends up what?
Look,
he ends up like
this
a
is the way
Broncos
I,
half.
this is the way I think it, right? You eat a steak. What do you do to improve it? You add salt.
Dude,
Bit of pepper.
what about some mushroom sauce?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Diane sauce or something?
And that's what the Roosters need to do. They need to change it up.
They need. You're saying they need Josh Mansell. Bring in the sauce. Is that what you're saying? Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, but he couldn't play. He wouldn't be able to play at 7 though.
I think they keep Chad until Walker gets back. Because they don't have a better option. They can't put Smith in a halfback. He's just not a halfback.
Yeah.
Chad will get better, I think.
Oh.
They can't get worse, can he? So
Oh.
he will get better.
He can't.
But I think the Broncos... Look,
Okay, look at it this
I
way.
haven't tipped the Broncos this much in my life.
I know.
But
Okay.
I'm saying Broncos are putting on 30.
How many times have we been to a Broncos Roosters game in Brisbane?
We've never been to a Broncos Roosters
Yeah,
game.
we have.
We've been
Oh,
to-
And every time, Roosters have been lost.
I know.
We've been to like 3 or 4 of them over the last 5 years.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So, Broncos at home on a Friday night and the late game on a Friday night.
Yeah.
It's going to be full of Broncos. There's going to be lots of da 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 da.
That's why I'm not going.
Buck the horse is going to be racing around the track.
Yeah, I wouldn't go if I was you either.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Broncos for
I
the
would
win,
go.
I think, for that one.
I would go and watch my team lose.
Would you?
Do you want to go?
The Sharks
What are you doing
lost for
Friday night?
10 years straight. From 2014 to 2024, we lost
glory-
every game.
The glory days.
And Matt was there for a lot of them, watching me just get angrier and angrier and angrier. And then we won!
Yeah.
All right,
Sharks,
the next game.
Manly,
Sharks
first game on the
v
Saturday.
Manly at Optus Stadium. Where the heck? Oh, Perth. Yeah, we're
Perth.
going down to Perth. We are going to get it together, and the Sharkies are going to do a number on the Sea Eagles. We're going to smash them right down the middle.
Yep. I think Kennedy will come up injured this week.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because we lost too many players.
Oh.
We've lost Iro, we've lost Ueli, we've lost
Hamlin Ueli's out.
Talakai. Yeah, he was out last
And
game.
Talakai.
And Talakai. These were all out on the weekend.
Why didn't you tell me
Teague
that
Wilton
before I
Teague Wilton was out on the weekend. We had a young guy there. We're
think
losing
Manly.
too many players.
I'm going to tip Manly.
Yeah, I think I'll tip.
I don't think Sharks will win.
Sharks will win
Sharks.
easy.
I think Sharks will win. Hey, just quickly, while we're over at Perth,
Just quickly again.
um,
Yeah.
Me
Are
and
we
Jed
going
are going.
to
Yeah,
No.
Me and Jed
Oh,
are going.
No, we-
thanks for the
You can come
invite,
too.
guys.
I got a spare ticket.
the NRL did come out and say that the Perth Bears is not part of the expansion plan as such. So where does that leave
I heard them say that a Perth team is part of it,
But not the Bears.
but their proposal is not.
Oh, it's not the Bears. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just interested.
I don't know what they wanted to do, but yeah.
But yeah, anyway. All right, next game. Rabbits versus Cowboys.
So the Rabbits are clearly the favourites on $1.94 over $1.90.
Yeah. Look, I would be tempted to tip Cowboys. Like,
In Perth?
well, let's have a look at their injury list with the Rabbits.
we're going to see who's end up's going to play for the Rabbits. I reckon, who's the winger? Whiten. I reckon Whiten shifts to the
He
half.
has to. He has to.
They've got the English guy, Dodd, I think will come in. So
Yeah.
Dodd and Whiten. Pretty decent team other than that, I think.
Yeah. And I rate Humphreys as well.
But he's done his hamstring.
Oh, he's done his hamstring.
He's the one that, yeah. Walker and Humphreys. Yeah, I don't know. You going Cowboys?
I think Cowboys.
Well, if they can't win this, then we know they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I think the Cows will. I think
Yeah.
the Cows will do it.
Oh,
They're starting to get a roll.
Callan's message, Callan reckons
Yeah.
Cowboys by 20. So, all right.
Yeah.
And last game for the Saturday, Eels versus Raiders at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Darwin.
Yeah, so this will be the last time they ever go to Darwin,
Oh, really?
as part of their...
Is this the game the Raiders got touched up, or is this the game the Eels? One of them got absolutely hammered last year.
Yeah, I forget. I think that the Eels got touched up. I feel.
I think with the humidity and the really bad catching of the Raiders, I think the Eels might win this based on kicks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that too.
I think they're going to have a dropsy affair in the heat, and I think Lomax is going to have a field day.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eels.
I'm going Eels.
Does anyone know when Mitchell Moses is back?
I think another few weeks.
Okay.
He's getting close. But yeah, Eels for the win.
Fogarty's good though. That's what worries me.
Alright, Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, Storm versus Warriors. Now, I thought this was always the Anzac game.
I think they've changed it.
Oh, they've changed it.
Storm
Obviously.
clearly
Maybe
favourites
there's
in
another
the
one.
in the
Yeah.
betting. So I think Storm.
It's in Melbourne. I'm sorry, Warriors, but
But the Warriors...
after what we saw from the Storm today,
But in saying that, the Warriors, against the Storm, they do seem to fire up against them. Like, do you remember that game when Sean Johnson threw out that cut-out pass and won them the game in the prelim? I think Grant Riley...
I think they'll fire up, but let's have a look at their spine.
Yeah.
They got Warriors got Egan, Metcalf, Harris DeVita, and Cookstar,
Yeah.
and Melbourne have Grant, Munster, Hughes, and Pappenhausen maybe. Like, I just don't see them winning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. But
The
yeah.
four packs might match each other,
Yeah.
but the rest of them.
Yeah. But don't be surprised if it goes down to the wire.
If it goes down the wire, who are you tipping? Munster or the other bloke? Melbourne.
Yeah,
I
I'll still tip Melbourne, but I'm just
I
saying...
hate Melbourne. They're the grubbiest
Yes,
team.
I
hate them with a passion.
I hate
They're
you.
gonna
No,
win
no,
that
I actually
game.
love you.
I don't. It doesn't faze me at all.
All right,
Either
next
way.
game, last game of the round.
Game of the round.
Game of the round. I won't be
Knights.
watching that.
Knights versus Tigers at
Knights at home.
Donald Jones.
I think the Tigers win. I think their four pack smashes them.
I concur.
Yeah.
Well, Luai will be back, won't he?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yep.
Oh no, or did he get 2 weeks? He got a suspension and then he got HIA as well.
Yeah, but it's the same time.
I think I might tip Tigers.
Does he have to do two?
He might.
I still think the Tigers
I think the
win.
Tigers did.
The
good
Tigers,
enough.
they shut Payne Haas down a lot.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
can I just quickly say as well?
You sure can, Jed.
I say it quickly, but
It's never quick though, is it?
no. I don't understand why the NRL, they should be, they call Sydney the home of rugby league. There's no games in Sydney this weekend. Like, I feel as though if you want to promote your game and grow it, there needs to be at least...
Well, that's why they're going to Perth and Darwin.
Yes, I know, but you need to have your core. Like, I feel like you need to have your...
Well, I hear, but there's a game in Newcastle. It's close.
I think
Yeah.
Brisbane's more of the home of rugby league, to be honest.
Where's the grand final played?
Should be in Brisbane.
Should be, but...
Yeah.
Hey, with Rabbitohs Penrith played in Brisbane. I loved it.
Yeah. Anyway, West Tigers for the win.
Yeah, I think Tigers might do them.
Yep. And then Dogs have
Dogs
the
for
bye.
the bye. So the current game, Canterbury versus Newcastle.
What's the score there,
13 minutes to go in the first half. 2-0.
What did I say? What did I say?
I thought Newcastle had a try, but it wasn't. It was an error. Everyone
Tight
was just-
game till the end.
Yep.
And then Ponga and Best will smash them.
Yep. All
So
right.
that's it for this round.
That's the
So you
best
guys got
version.
any more talking points? Any
I think
more
we
life
covered.
advice?
Mow your yard when the sun shines. And don't
Oh,
put
okay.
it off.
Don't put it off. When the sun's shining, you got to do
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
My
Mine
mum was
is,
in the shop 3 weeks, I reckon.
if you haven't said hi to your mum, call it tonight.
Mm.
Well, I think that's it for us. Let's get out of here.
Make sure you give us a subscribe. If you hung on this long, give us a subscribe, share it to your friends, give it a like. If you enjoyed it that much that you're still here,
It's on Spotify. Give us a rate,
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
And look, if you are still here, just play the video in the background on YouTube, Jed.
Yes.
I'm talking to you.
Yes, I know.
Just play it,
No, I
and mute it, because it all counts. It all helps.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. You
we
can in
need
my
more-
life too.
And we need more subs.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We got to get to 100 by
And
the end
then
of
the
the year.
NRL said they'll sponsor us.
Yeah.
that won't let us keep going if we don't get 100.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you
All right.
guys. Have a good life,
Have a
mate.
good-
Yeah.
yeah.